The first step of playing elite defense in college football 25 is that we have to take away the underneath. We have to. This goes a little bit against the bend but don't break philosophy that a lot of people have and that I'm even a big fan of. But just the fact of the matter is, in this game, tackling is so bad, pursuit is so bad, and just the every ball carrier move, getting rack run after the catch is so good in this game that we can't just forfeit the underneath and say, we'll make the tackle. Because I just hurdled a man right there. You probably won't make the tackle. So the whole idea of bend but don't break, right? Give up the flats, make them dink and dunk, doesn't work super well. Instead, I subscribe to the idea of make them work, which is what everything we're going to go over in this video comes back to. So how do we first make them work by taking away the underneath? Well, what I like to do is I'm going to base everything out of the 4-2-5 playbook here in the formation nickel over. These concepts apply to everything though. And then I'm going to use the play cover 3 buzz match as our base right here, okay? So this is what it looks like stock. You see we have 2 seam flats on the side. This is match coverage. I don't really want the match though. So what I'm going to do is press Y or triangle and then down on the right stick. And that's actually going to shade our coverage underneath to create hard flats and get rid of the match. So we're just playing regular drop coverage right here, okay? So now if I try throwing this quick drag to my tight end, you'll see we're actually going to get hit as soon as we catch it. Now, we might hold on to it, but we're not allowing him to do anything with the ball after catching. Now, this, of course, does leave other openings in our defense. And right there, I didn't shade down. So guess what? We didn't get the hard flat. Every single time, if you want to defend underneath, you have to press Y or triangle and then down the right stick. That's going to shade underneath, right? And again, this will give up openings in our defense. But we're at least going to know that we can take away one area of the field and then we can make them work in other ways. Something I love to do, if you don't want to go full hard flats, because what hard flats will do is play right at the line of scrimmage, I will actually go into my coaching adjustments, click the right stick in right here, go into my zone drop flats, and I'll even go to something like 10 right here, okay? And so what this is going to do is actually play like a really happy, like medium of not coming down all the way to the line of scrimmage, but as soon as they throw the drag, it'll play it. So now we shade it underneath. We have our hard flats, but they're going to play 10 yards back. I just zone drop them to 10. So now we go to that drag on the left side. And you can see that guy, like the flat played a little bit further back right there, which will be helpful against, a little bit later routes like wheels or a little bit deeper corners or something like that. Right there. I didn't shade my coverage underneath. And you see we're able to get pretty big rack opportunity right there. But we shade underneath with our 10-yard flat. And now, we try to quick throw this wheel. We're going to get somebody right on us immediately. Then somebody else is there. You have the flexibility to adjust these flats as well. If somebody kept throwing this on me, right, then I might say, okay, I need to put my flats at 5, right? We just cannot let them do the easiest thing in the game, which is just quick throwing underneath, spinning, and getting easy touchdowns. We need them to work, all right? Someone keeps doing that to me, I'm putting my flats down to 5, right? We gotta be able to work. But this opens up a pretty big area of the field, which is kind of that, like, intermediate sideline, all right? So something like this right here actually gets wide open from this style of defense, that area. Like, that is and that's a big-time area, right? While we want to defend the underneath, we don't want to just give up a massive chunk of the field, which is what we're going to talk about next. And if this video is giving you any value so far, consider doing me a favor and hitting the subscribe button. Over 90% of people watching right now just aren't subscribed. And seriously, by doing so, you'd be doing me a favor because it tells YouTube that you enjoyed the video and that this video should be pushed to more college football players just like yourself who are just trying to get better and have more fun on the game. So what we're looking at right here now, I've established as our base defense, okay? This is what I just want to run. This is pretty decent. It's going to take away the underneath pretty well. And I like this just out of cover 3 because we can do a pretty good job deep, in the middle, etc., etc. But now we've actually established kind of a weak link, and our opponent is throwing this on us now. He's hit this wheel route deep down the right sideline 2, 3, 4 times this game, okay? And this wheel route, I want to make very clear, is attacking in the same area that a corner route would attack, okay? Picture that. So instead of a wheel route that we're throwing, picture hitting our tight end on this corner route. How would we defend this, right? Because, I mean, do we just lose? Do we need to totally change defenses? What is it? I'm a massive believer that we make minor adjustments to our base defense, okay? So in this case, right? My base defense is out of the cover 3 buzz match. I have my flat set to 5 or 10, right? In this case, we'll just leave it at 10. And then I'm actually going to take my curl flats, and as part of my base defense, I'm going to put them to 25, okay? Now, the reason I'm doing this, let's get back to the buzz match right here. The reason I'm doing this is that my stock defense doesn't actually use these curl flats. So who cares, right? This is my base. Who cares? But if somebody keeps on throwing this wheel route on me over and over again, like we've seen, right? This wheel route just can't get defended. Well, we actually have some flexibility here out of this coverage shell, and that is to take our safety right here and put him in a curl flat, okay? And you could just simply do that by clicking onto him and hitting A or X and then right on the left stick, which brings up that curl flat. Or we could quick adjust him by double tapping Y or triangle and then selecting his icon, which is A, and then we could also curl flat him from here. That way we don't have to change our user. A little bit up to you. If that was a little bit complex, feel free to rewind that, by the way. Now, same idea. We're running almost the same defense. Not quite, but almost the same defense. We tried throwing that, and now it's should have been picked, right? We're running almost the same defense, but now we're taking away a major route that our opponent is throwing. This would be the same idea if, let's say, instead, they're throwing this tight end corner over and over, right? This deep tight end corner. Well, how do I defend that? Do I have to get out of my defense? Or can I just simply make a minor adjustment, go and put a curl flat on the field from one of my hook curls, and then we snap this ball, and look, the corner route's defended. Y is defended, right? We have to throw it on the sideline. He's going to get hit if he catches it inbound, right? There we go. A lot of people get super big into having to make a bunch of different adjustments, and you don't have to do that all the time, and you don't always have to abandon your base defense. Now, what we could do as well, let's say it's 4th and 20, right? Well, in that case, I actually don't even care about underneath, right? I'm saying, dude, throw underneath if you want. Do you want to throw this running back wheel quickly? I don't care. I'm just going to leave this guy in his seam flat, which will act as a curl flat, right? So in this case, we don't even need the underneath zone. Then I snap it, right? Oh, it's 4th and 20. All right, well, in this case, actually, the curl flat went back 30 because I had him set to 30, but you would just drop him to 20. I hope that makes sense, right? And another example of that would be, let's say they're doing something like this and it's 4th and 20. Well, in this case, dude, I don't care, dude. Like, dude, throw Y, because I just need to defend that. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care too much. Now, another thing that we could do here to help defend against that area of the field is take one of our hook curls from our base defense, and if there's a receiver that is just absolutely tearing us up, we just can man him up. So in this case, let's say it's the running back just tearing us up. Well, now we call this play. Now the running back is going to be manned up. It's going to be a lot harder to hit that running back, right? That's one of the easiest things we can do. You don't have to totally change your defense, right? People tell me all the time, Civil, I couldn't stop this corner route. They were running, I made every coverage adjustment. I go, no, you didn't. You made things way too complicated. I'm a stupid man. Keep things as dumb as simple as possible. And for what it's worth, this isn't just all like wordplay and lip salad or word salads and all that. These are the strategies I have used to win tens of thousands of dollars playing Madden, stopping and locking down the best offensive players to ever play the game just by keeping things as simple as possible. And I might be saying, okay, Civil, what if they're throwing a corner route to the left side, right? We're getting ready to defend the right side, but then they hit me with a corner route to the left, okay? Well, part of this is just anticipation, right? Part of that also is something called your user, which is one of our biggest steps in this entire thing, is that, let's say, now we're looking at this defense on the right. I know that I have the right sideline locked down because this guy's set to 5 or 10. This guy's set to 25 or 30. But I know my left side of the defense is not locked down. So instead, what I need to be aware of is, okay, we're here. Oh my gosh, corner route. We got to go up there with our user, right? We got to be ready. And if they end up attacking the middle, then that means actually we ran really bad defense because this was one of the worst defensive play calls ever against this coverage, right? I had 2 flat zones on the left side, on this side of the field. He didn't even attack the flat. So you know what that tells me? That tells me I ran bad defense, right? That's not you just have to, in that case, we just wouldn't make that same adjustment with the curl flat, right? There is a lot of anticipation that goes on here, and there's also a lot of usering that goes on here, right? One of your biggest advantages on defense is having a good user, right? We're here. Now we get to go down. We get to bait these different routes. We get to do some really cool stuff. Ideally, you have a much faster user than who I'm using right now in Western Michigan. This guy, I don't know, moon speed, but he is not fast. Your user player, you want him tall, you want him strong. You don't really need him to be strong, but you want him tall, you want him fast, okay? You want him just to be an absolute dog of an athlete in this user position here in the middle of the field. And then, again, we're able to blanket the right side, and then left side, right? We're in middle. Okay, now I'm up. Nothing really attacking, right? Boom. That bags this play entirely from a situation where if we just ran our stock defense or our base defense, it wouldn't have been bagged. Or if our user was, I'm gonna run over here. Why would my user ever defend the right sideline? Let me ask you this. If I'm doing this, right, why would my user ever run to the side, to the right sideline? He wouldn't. My user is responsible for the middle of the field. And right here, he actually has a ton of responsibility. So, I mean, we could, do some other adjustments. But that's one of the biggest keys with usering. And then, if you're wondering, well, how do I know what to user? There's two things we're looking at here, okay? One is we're trying to think, where's the weakness in our defense? Let's use this as like one of our bases again, okay? Where's the weakness in our defense? Definitely not the right sideline. So I know my user needs to be ready in the middle of the field here and potentially on the left intermediate sideline too, because I don't have anything in this area of the field, right? I don't have anything. So right here, I'm actually asking a decent amount from my user, but you always will be. And that's how you can force turnovers as well, because people are bad at attacking the user. All right, we go here. Oh, I'm up. Now they throw that. And now I tried doing two controllers, but you can get very close to interception. And if someone's throwing close to your user over and over and over again, you don't need to change defenses, right? If someone's making this throw over and over again, right, where it's like right next to your user, you're like, oh, I almost got it. Don't change your defense. They're going to keep on throwing it right at you, brother. You know what I'm saying? So the first way of knowing where your user needs to be is simply by knowing where your weaknesses are, right? And then it's just seeing where the route's going. We have drag right here. Okay. Oh, I got to go up then. And then they throw this, and we're able to lurk it, right? And we're able just to adjust from there. What if they were attacking only the left sideline? All right. And this is, we're kind of, it'd be something like this right here, right? And I know my weakness is in that middle of the field and the top left. Right here. Drag. Oh, corner route. I got to try to get up there with my user. And if you have a better athlete of a user right here, you're going to be able to get up there and bait that. And once they call it a few times, you're going to be ready for it immediately. You just got to be conscious of trying to think of where are the routes going that they put on the field, right? So let's revisit the idea again of making them work. This right here is one of the easiest things that people will do that is not them working. Like, my mom could go pick up the controller and she could go throw this bubble and then go tap B 18 times and score a touchdown, right? Very, very easy to do. So let's talk about how to stop RPOs and just the general idea of stopping the run game. Now, first and foremost, it is hard to stop the run game. It is very, very hard. But I want to give you guys a few different ideas and strategies of what we can do to at least slow it down. So first and foremost, one of the easiest ways to stop the RPO game, if they are consistently calling it, is to man up an interior defender on the guy who's getting the RPO. So what does that actually mean in real time? Okay, so we look at this defense right here. This is our base. We're still working out the same idea. We are going to man up this linebacker right here and put him onto the bubble receiver, which is typically the innermost guy. Not always, but once they throw it a few times, you'll have an idea. Then, what that means is that in this case, we need to either user this guy, or we can hop on our safety and user him. I don't care who you decide to user in this case. Just make sure you know your assignment and pass coverage. Right here, we'll go to him. And now if we try to throw this bubble, we cannot throw it anymore, right? They're going to get hit. Now, you don't have to do this every single play. The best players actually will anticipate when your opponent's going to throw a bubble. So, we're not going to do it this play. And if they throw a bubble, we just have to get out there with our user and try to react, and maybe they end up getting a big play. If we're playing somebody who keeps on throwing bubbles, we're going to set up defense for this every single time. If we're playing somebody who doesn't throw bubbles, we're not going to set up defense for this as much. Keep in mind, no matter what you do on defense, the offense is always at an advantage, okay? It just is. Same idea in real life, too. The offense always has a massive advantage. So, now, how do we stop the run? Let's say they just want to start handing this ball off. Well, that's pretty easy, too, right? Then they just want to spin to oblivion. The way we can stop the run in this game, and mind you, again, run game is very good, is if we look at the offensive line blocking right here, let's look at this. if I take my user and stand right here, they see me. That center is all over me. If I stand over here, the guard sees me now. If I do this, they're going to double team and try to work up to me. But if I stand back about 10 yards, they don't see me anymore. Okay, and this is a massive run defense tip. Okay, so now if we do this, and I'll man up that bubble, right? Let's guys see my play art. Thank you. They run inside zone. Look who's totally free to help try to make that tackle. And at the very least, if I don't make that tackle, I'm going to push him into an area that he doesn't want to go to, which is going to help one of my other guys get there to make the tackle. And this same idea applies right here as well, right? Look, they see me. Now they don't. About 10 yards back. They run, let's just pretend it's an inside zone. We come down, and we're able to make that tackle. I try to line my guy up and then make the, and then click off to make the tackle in this game. It's tackling incredibly hard. It just is. Just something to keep in mind. Now, another thing I want to mention here is that we could also adjust our flats, right? Because I've been playing this with 10-yard flats. So one of the other things we could do, if we're not sure what they're going to do, right? Maybe they're going to run bubble, maybe they're not, and we don't want to commit that resource, is just put a hard flat over there, and then, you know, user per usual, and then this can do a slightly better job sometimes. Right there, he doesn't, but it's just another idea that we have. Or another way we can stop the RPOs is to actually have a safety in a hard flat. So like this guy right here, the way he's gonna come down is gonna do a really good job. Safety hard flats, really, really good against bubbles just because of where they're coming from. They don't get blocked. So in this case, right, let's play a little hypothetical for you here. Right, we're in our cover 3. This is still basically the same coverage out of our base. We just have our safety in a deep, in a hard flat now. Now we're standing back. We're gonna be able to defend this. Right, we can defend the run now if they hand it off. Right, we just click off. Boom. He had to, if anything, he had to juke out, which we had number 5 coming down to make the tackle. And right there, we're able to slow down the run game, and we're able to slow down the RPO game a little bit. And this idea of standing back with your user helps against all runs. It's like the most generalized, like basic run defense you could possibly have. And it does a really, really, really good job. Like it genuinely, like it does a really good job. So we could do something like this, right? Oh, they tried throwing the RPO bubble. We got that guy manned up. Bang. Now it's 2nd to 15. I actually think he's going to go corner route to the left side now, right? So I'm worried about corner route. Well, in this case, let me now put a curl flat over here, right? Same base defense, but now I'm predicting what his play call is going to be. And now if he ran that corner route to the left side, right? Notice how everything kind of goes back into each other, right? Boom. Corner route is going to be bagged. And actually, let me see. I'm curious about something because that corner route was not bagged. So why wasn't it? Let's see. Was my flats not correct? That's my guess. Yes, my curl flats were not correct. So that's my fault. That's just, oh, I made the adjustment, but I didn't have my flats correctly. So let's go back to it. Let's run another corner just so you guys can see that this like does work, of course. You know, we can make a minor adjustment. And now on the left side, we're going to have, right? Now I'm predicting, okay, he's going to go to that. And this is where it's like anticipation of predicting what their play call is going to be, what their next move is. That's how you get stops on defense. Try guessing their play before they ever snap the ball. Next on our list of making them work, we have to keep our opponent from being a seaman demon. Now, you've probably seen somebody do something like this where they come on 5 wide and they just, boom, quick throw the seam. They might do it from trips. They might do it from spread, something like that. But it's just, they are just spamming the seams, dude. We can't let them do this to us. Okay, and there's a few different ways we can attack this. It's very, very frustrating, by the way. But like, if you can stop the seams, you can stop the underneath, and you can stop the corner routes when you want to, and you have good run defense and RPO defense, your opponent loses unless they're really good at the game. All right, so first and foremost, these yellow zones are really good at defending the seams if they're shaded over top. What I'll do a lot of the times out of this base defense that we're doing from the cover 3 buzz match is shade my coverage underneath first. Let's wire triangle down the right stick, and then shade it over top. Wire triangle up on the right stick. That is going to get this hook curl right here, this yellow zone, to play the seam. We do it right here. You're going to see he actually gets pretty good depth, and there he actually jumps up and lurks the ball. Really, really big deal. If we were to only shade underneath, you'll actually see a little bit different play from him. Now, right here, I do think in this, if we just shade underneath, he'll still play it a little bit. But it's just different, right? You see him kind of play a little bit down further. We can throw it a little bit above him, and we could fit that ball in. Shading over top has really been like a game changer for me to get this ball defended, because to fit it in, they have to throw it above his head and they have to hold on to it through contact. So like something like that right there. See, it's a pick waiting to happen. Now, let's say maybe you just can't make that adjustment for whatever reason. You don't have a hook curl there, whatever. One of my other favorite things is a lot of times we can actually just take our flat defender on that side where they're attacking the seam and put him into a hook curl. I don't know why there we go. Put him into a hook curl or a vert hook, shade him over top, right? Let's say this is our user now, and then check this out. They try to throw that quick seam. That is a hard throw, and it just got, wow, he really missed the swat right there. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. This is why the Western, we can't do anything to Mac. Gosh dang it. But we do the same thing again. You see right here, we're able to like super force that into a very tight window is what I'm trying to say. Right. Do it again right here. Shaded over top vert hook from our slot. And boom. We go to quick throw. You see he's able to pick it that time. Now you might be saying, but Civil, that takes away the flat on that side, right? Look at the route combo they're running. They're not even attacking the flat on the right side. Only thing attacking that flat on the right side is this drag coming all the way across, which takes time that we could use her, right? So that's just, again, showing how we can adjust from the same defense that we started this out with and make minor adjustments to it. Now, what about the other seam, right? Well, what if we just user the other seam, right? So we have good seam defense on the right, and we're worried about the other seam. Well, I'll just user the other seam. Now they can't throw seams on me, right? That's getting our user involved yet again, which is a massive difference maker. Don't let your opponent be a seaming demon. Take away the seams and make him work. Make him throw open reads all game long. Not just once or twice, all game long. Now let's talk about the feature that changes literally everything in this game, okay? Because to defend a route concept like I just ran right here, we would have to have a curl flat because they have a corner route, right? So we would have to do what we talked about earlier, which is like curl flat somebody and, you know, kind of adjust our base defense a little bit. But by utilizing what's called the switch stick, we can actually recognize the route combo, see where they're trying to throw, and actually take that away. So what that looks like in real time is like this right here, right? Boom. Oh, I see corner route. Now I just get up there with my flat route or with my flat defender, and I'm able to take that away. All right, let's actually look at it again. Let's go. Boom. Right here, right here. Oh, corner route. Boom. Now I'm up there, right? They thought that was an easy throw. Now we're able to get up there with the switch stick. The reason this is so powerful is because it limits the amount of adjustments we have to make pre-snap, and it's all during the play. So if you're somebody who you don't like making adjustments pre-snap, really, right? It's hard, it's clunky, it's whatever. Get good at switch stick, because that changes literally everything. Right here, I'm able to defend corner routes simply by switch sticking, right? Switch stick, boom, now I'm up. Or I could go back down if they threw the flat, whatever. The way the switch stick works, a little quick breakdown of this bad boy. Let's spy the defensive line here. It's all with the right stick. Couple of quick rules that you need. Your user has to be in a coverage assignment, and the ball, it has to be a pass play, RPOs count, and the ball has to be in your quarterback's hands, okay? Then, to do it, dude, there's a spider on my wall over there. That is awful. All right, let's snap the ball. We snap the ball, right stick, flick to the right, and we are that flat zone. See what I'm saying? Now, let's say, oh, I need to be the deep zone. We'll flick up. Now I'm this deep zone up here. Well, I want to go back down. Now we're back down. Now, I actually need to get to the left side. Oh, we got to take away Y, right? And, oh my gosh, I think he's about to throw B. Let's go right here. Can we jump it? I didn't get there in time. It's all in the direction of the right stick and how you flick it, okay? A really good example of this is what I showed earlier with just defending corner routes, right? We go here, and right there I have kind of a bad switch stick, but you can even see I'm able to almost get there with that. Or we could be super aggressive, and we could even switch stick onto like a deep third or something and come down and try to bite on an underneath route. Now, there is some big risk, right? Because if I do this and I say, oh, I'm going to be aggressive, that could be a touchdown. But if you get good at it and you can start anticipating where your opponent's going to throw, you could turn these into interceptions. If you get 2 turnovers in a game of College Football 25, you should win. And if you don't win, it's not a defensive issue, it is an offensive issue. And if you enjoyed that video, you should check out my website, civil.gg, linked in the top description, where I teach people how to win more games in College Football 25. You can use code NEWMEMBER30 and get 30% off literally everything we're doing. Over 96% of our members say that they've won more games since joining, and we have over 1,000 active members right now. So If you want full schemes, everything you need to know to actually win more games, totally laid out for you, that's the place you need to be. You can check it out, link in the top description.